Okay, so in terms of awareness, we have a couple of eights. We have the Eight of Pentacles and we have the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Pentacles is telling us that this week is a week for you to focus on your work and that you are very invested and serious about what you do and that you're willing to pay close attention to, the fine details and, and not being distracted by other things going around in the distance or in the background. You are skilled, you're talented, and you're working hard. You're doing what you need to do in order to create, to build, to manage whatever it may be. And you feel pretty good about it because here you're displaying those coins. And so it goes to pride, of taking pride in the work that you do. So it's a wonderful message, which is to focus on your work. And maybe it's a short week for you and you have to work a little harder perhaps. But, this could go to online training. You could be, taking a webinar or class or something like that. But a focus and an awareness on work for the week. And with this Eight of Wands, with the Eight of Wands, we have these wands that are either being launched in the air or they're coming to earth. And it goes to the sense of activity within our life. We always have projects. We're always doing something. And projects end and then new projects begin. So you may have an opportunity to join in on a project. You may have to make a quick turnaround in responding because we see movement here. We see things happening quickly. And so whether this is, again, invitations, opportunities for training, perhaps you might have to make a quick decision. You may have to get back to someone. Now, the other thing to think about is with the Eight of Wands, we're talking about communication. It's a week to focus on communication, on your emails, text, phone calls. Just pay mind to articulate clearly and maybe take a few notes, write things down, and just be careful for that. And I know that many would say, well, we're in a retrograde and we can't communicate. Well, there are steps to deal with things, which is to be planning and to, again, be very aware and taking your time and not rushing things. So, that's my approach to retrogrades. And, it's ultimately up to me how I'm going to deal with them. So aside from that, things you may feel that this is a very busy week for you, particularly with the U.S. holiday. People coming, going, communication, opportunities, decisions, in addition to hard work. So in terms of guidance, we have the Four of Pentacles, and we have the Moon, major arcana. The Four of Pentacles is very much a sense of holding on to what you have, of exerting your own control, your own boundaries here for your resources. And your resources are not just your money, it's your time, it's your energies, it's everything about how you live. And it's here, trapping this pentacle, having your head weighed down by the pentacle, and clutching and trapping with your feet. So whether you have to really pay close attention to your money this week or, your efforts, your energy, what you're putting out there, this may be a time for you just to kind of hold tight. Others, this may be a sense where maybe you're just holding back and you're kind of in a protective mode. And maybe some of you may be meeting with families or siblings, and maybe there's an interesting dynamic and you're kind of in this hold position where I'm going to protect myself. Just a thought here, but often this goes to holding on to what you have, minding what you have. Maybe it's not the best time to make decisions with your resources. Maybe it's just you need a little more time to think about things, or it could be that, unexpected expenses come up and you just might have to buckle down and really watch how you allocate and use your resources. So with this Four of Pentacles, here we have the Moon. And always an interesting card because the Moon, the Moon is so powerful, ruling the waters, the tides, and we are inspired by the Moon. We find beauty within the Moon. But the Moon can also lead us down a path which is maybe not the right path. And so it's about, here's this little crayfish coming out of the water. We develop our consciousness over time. We develop, our instincts. And with the Moon, there's a real strong message here, which is to tune into your subconscious, the psychic part of you, the intuitive part of you, the ability to put your dreams and these messages into some place in perspective within your life, to pay attention to those messages. The hope here is that maybe we get down the path through these towers, and it is connecting to your subconscious, what lies beneath the surface. Often we keep things undercover. And, whether you want to call that a secret or not, we keep things hidden. And there may be a time when you need to really think about how to bring things out or to reveal. But this is, be mindful of where you're going. For some of you, but not all of you, maybe some of you feel anxious or feel a little bit of anxiety or uncertainty. And again, I would tell you to go back to your intuition and the dreams and messages and just the hunches that you feel. Trust those. Always interesting to see the Moon. Okay, so in terms of possible outcomes, we have the Nine of Swords and we have the King of Cups. So the Nine of Swords is a card of sleeplessness. As you see in the illustration, you're holding your head in your hands. It's the stuff and the mind games that keep you up at night. And so it can be where you feel burdened, you may feel stressed out, you may have been hurt, you may feel sadness or worry or concern. It's not a nice feeling. It's a tough feeling because it makes us feel tired. It's exhausting to feel this type of stress or anxiety. So perhaps there's something this week that is causing some anxiousness and some sleepless nights. So, find a way to get yourself back to a grounded space or place and count your blessings. Do something to distract yourself. Do something to make you feel, put a smile on your face, a funny movie, funny video clips, whatever it may be, to pull yourself back out of this feeling of stress and sleeplessness. It can be done. Doesn't mean it can be turned around in a moment, but you can begin to work out of this so that you may feel that you can climb up out of these swords here. The King of Cups, it's nice to see the King of Cups in this reading as a possible outcome. The King of Cups, he's a master of emotions, of understanding people's emotions, understanding where they're coming from. So here he has been able to sit in this throne, wear this crown, and hold on to this cup because he is, very capable in the approach to others, in dealing with emotions, of being compassionate, of being sensitive, of being open to listening. So whether this is this is someone within your life that maybe in times of uncertainty, you may want to rely on someone. You may want to get support. Others, these could be attributes that you would perhaps benefit from, or maybe that you're demonstrating, or maybe you're the support system for someone else, that you're being kind or considerate. This King of Cups, often in a healing profession, someone who is culturally, I can't even say it, someone who enjoys arts, and someone who is very, I would say, very real, very approachable, very real. And again, to understand where people come from on an emotional basis, it's a wonderful skill, and to be empathetic and to feel that. So it's a time to think about feelings. So Aries, interesting here with the Moon and the Nine of Swords, feeling busy, working hard, and yet holding on. You're holding on to something. So let's see what the cards have for us in terms of a affirmation for the week. Archangel Michael, you can do it. So again, positive affirmations, belief in yourself, confidence, telling yourself that you can do it, setting that intention is the first step. And finally, let me choose an oracle card for love. Practice compassion. See things from a different perspective. And I love that it's right here in the King of Cups, which is to practice compassion, which is to be aware of how people are feeling or where they're coming from. The compassionate and the empathetic actions and mindfulness.